It is... Okay, listen. I'm trying to hold my iPad up with one hand. That's not right. Hi everybody, my name is Rosalie and welcome back to my channel, Back to Chubby. Today, well, I'm in my office. It's just after 5 o'clock and I am trying to hold this up on one hand and it's balanced on top of several boxes on top of a little filing cabinet because I didn't bring my tripod with me. I didn't actually plan to film today, but it got to be about this time and I knew Josh was going to get home early, and rather than, you know, asking him to sit quietly for 30 minutes while I record a video, I decided I'd just go ahead and do it here while everything's sort of winding down. Parking lots are crazy because everybody's trying to leave after the first full day of classes, and it's fine. I'm just going to take some time, record a video, which I haven't been able to do in a week, talk to you guys for a minute. So, as you know, I started my new job. I was pretty sick there for a while and then I got over it. If you're wondering, or if you're curious, I mentioned when I was sick on my first weigh-in the week before last that I was planning on gaining a little bit of weight back not planning to, but expecting to gain a little bit of weight back when I got over being sick, and that happened. So this is what I rounded out last week at.
Hello. It's ready. 350.6 pounds.
So I went up a little bit less than a pound. Some people were saying that they'd never heard of gaining weight after you were sick, or after not eating for a while, and so I thought I'd explain that just a little bit more. Obviously, I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. Most of this is coming from personal experience. For whatever reason, every time I stop eating and then I start eating again, I gain a little bit of weight. And this goes hand in hand with when you start trying to lose weight, whether it's changing your diet or exercising. Sometimes you'll start to lose quite a bit of weight at the very beginning and then it slows down. A lot of the times when you're sick or when you start limiting your food intake, one of the main things you lose is water weight, especially if you're sick, like throwing up or have diarrhea or something. You lose a lot of water, and water weighs quite a bit. So once you start putting food back into your body, you start to regain some of that water weight. Now that's not to say that you don't lose any muscle or any fat. You do lose a little bit, but mostly it's water weight over a very short period of time. If it's a prolonged period of time that you're going without food, then you will start to eat into some of your muscle reserves and some of your fat reserves, both. Anyway, I guess I could have summed that up by saying it's mostly water weight, and it comes back pretty fast. That would have been easier. Fun fact, behind me is my desk. I guess I could move and show you that. There's my workstation here, which is going to sleep. My always plan ahead thing, which I really need to get on like a shirt because I'm a mess. This is a picture of Josh and I when I graduated with my master's. This is my family and I at Glacier National Park on the Going to the Sun Road. This is a little lamp that I got from IKEA and I really like. This is a wind chime that is made out of little cut polished stones from the Garden of the Gods in Colorado. This is my stack of writing stuff. So I've got my daily planner right here, a notebook that I use for most of the projects I'm working on right here, a writing prompt thing, a little journal notebook, just plain journal, the 52 list project that I got from my mom and dad, another little notepad here that I use for notes to myself, and the Q&A a day thing here. And that, whoa, backwards. This is The Obeliskate, which is the second book in a series by N.K. Jemisin, who's a great writer and won 2 Hugo Awards in a row for the same series, which is a huge accomplishment. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. And if you do know what I'm talking about, you know it's a pretty big deal. This up here, and this up here, and this up here, and if you can tell, all those out there, they're extra copies of books that haven't been sold yet. So these are all from Blue Stem Press, which is where I work, and then out there behind me are all Flint Hills Reviews, which is the National Literary Journal I work on. So, impromptu office tour. Also, this is my water bottle. This is some spare water I keep in here with like a cup and my little mug behind there, just for when I forget my water bottle and I don't want to walk to the water thing, fountain. And I've got this little tiny tree right here and my tiny little succulent right there. This puzzle ball, which is way easier now that I know how to do it. And a tiny lantern and some books and stuff. And this is a tiny little humidifier diffuser thing. The rest is all office stuff. I didn't plan on giving you an office tour. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm off track. It's been a long day. I've got a headache. It's been kind of a crazy day because Monday was Martin Luther King Day and our campus wasn't open. And I didn't have to come into work. Well, at first I was going to get some stuff done from home, like work on some emails and some posters I need to get done and some publicity stuff. And then I decided, you know what, this is the first day in a long time that I've been home and not had something to work on and not been sick also and not needed to go anywhere. So I decided I would just enjoy the day off. And I made Josh a hat. I crocheted him a beanie. And I made a yarn bowl out of clay. And I watched some bad movies and read some and just enjoyed not doing anything really that I didn't have to do. And it was nice. And then the next day, the campus was closed for weather. And then I just felt really behind, and I felt like I should have taken advantage of getting all the stuff I needed to do done on Monday, because then on Tuesday that meant that there were several meetings I needed to reschedule and people I couldn't call to get stuff done and stuff I had put off until we came back over the weekend, and then putting him off one more day seemed rude, and it's fine. I'm caught up now, but I'm getting a headache. And I'm a little bit, I don't know, a little bit out of sorts, I suppose. But I am finishing up some big projects. I'm getting started on some other projects, which I should really be further along on by now. And I know this is just sort of a rambling video. Oh, I was also going to show you my meal prep. I did film it. I don't know why I'm acting like I can't still show it to you. Okay, so for meal prep this week, and mostly last week, I've been flying by the seat of my pants and just trying to do healthy things. I didn't have time to actually meal prep last week because I was so sick, and I guess I had time. I didn't want to. I felt like I'd throw up if I looked at food. And then this past weekend, I did meal prep a little bit, and by meal prep, I mean I bought the groceries and sort of planned out what I was going to have, but I didn't actually take the time to put it together. So this week, I've just been throwing healthy things together, literally. Also, it's been several days since I filmed this, so I don't remember the order that it's in, but let me just tell you what I have. This week, I've been getting home, throwing some pre-washed, pre-cut salad into a bowl, chopping up some bell peppers for Josh, which I'm not having, throwing in some guacamole and salsa and sour cream instead of dressing. The day I filmed this, we had a pre-cooked fajita chicken. Since then, I've also been cooking my own meat, whatever it might be, and throwing that in, as well as some chopped up green onions or scallions, whatever you want to call them, and a little bit of pepper jack cheese. So, these are huge salads for one thing, but this week I haven't had lunch. I've mostly just been eating when I get home and running late every morning, so I haven't had breakfast. And I talked to Josh about what he wants to do. Several people have asked where Josh is at, like on his weight loss journey. Without getting like into exact numbers, Josh is basically back where he was when we started. And I've mentioned before that there's sort of a two-person problem, that we sort of enable each other. So I think just like he's been gaining the weight back, or he's gained all the weight back, I think that's part of what's made it harder on me to keep losing weight. But we are trying to get back into doing it together again, which I think will be very helpful for both of us. And he said that he might want to go ahead and look into doing lower carb or keto again. Which I'm up for trying it again. And part of me is a little bit reticent to try it because I usually believe in just sticking with something. Last time I did keto, it didn't work out very well for me. All told on keto, I lost about 7 pounds after I gained 4 pounds from it. So I didn't go down that much. And my guts weren't doing very well, but I didn't do it right, I guess you could say. I did way too much processed stuff because it was easier, and it was a little bit expensive where I live, and there's several steps I would want to take this time before we get into it. Obviously, this meal had a lot of protein and fat in it, and not a lot of carbohydrates that didn't come from vegetables. And even then, there weren't very many carbs. So I'm trying this time to ease into it a little bit more, up the protein and fat content, while sort of weaning myself off of carbs instead of going cold turkey, because I think that's part of what messed me up last time. And I also think that I need way more fiber this time. Like way more fiber. So I'm going to try and sort of ease into it, and hopefully my body doesn't rebel like it did last time. Last time I was also having some keto flu symptoms, like some dizziness and nausea and headaches. I felt sick. I just felt awful. So being sure to get more electrolytes this time I think will help. Being sure to make sure to include way more roughage and fiber is going to help. Making sure that I stick to lean, clean, real meat rather than a lot of processed stuff is going to help. Basically this time I'm going to do a little bit more homework before we just jump right in. But I'm also coming up on that time of the month, or in this case, that time of the hasn't happened for the last 4 months. So it's probably not going to be great. Having a little bit more fat and protein this week, my guts are already a little bit messed up. Not like they were last time, but it's not been smooth sailing, if you know what I mean. Sorry, if that's TMI for you. So we'll see what the weigh-in is like this week. I don't want to say I'm not worried about it, but I have other higher priorities this week, I guess, than whatever the scale is. And whatever the scale says, I'm just going to keep going. So it'll be fine. I'm pretty rambly today. So what has this video been? Impromptu office tour. Meal prep that I almost forgot about. Talking about going keto again, which we haven't actually really started, but we're going to maybe again. But I'm going to do more research first. Just sort of a check-in. Also a weigh-in from last week. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. It's probably going to be a nightmare to edit. Maybe I should call it here because I think I've been recording for like 20 minutes. Okay. Listen. I gotta call it. I'm just rambling because my brain won't focus. And I've been holding up this iPad, so I'm sure the camera hasn't been very steady, which I apologize for. Anyway. I'm sure things have calmed down outside. So let me just leave you with a few more reminders because I know it's been a while. If you want to find me on social media, you can follow me with the username BackToChubby, all one word. I'm getting ready to be more active. I've even like stopped to take pictures for Instagram and then never gotten around to uploading them, or started to snap something and then forgot what I was doing. or got off track, or just never hit upload, and then later I was like, I was dumb anyway and I'll delete it. And I found myself just sort of scrolling through Twitter without actually taking the time to post a comment. I think my brain's just sort of readjusting, and I'm putting a lot of mental energy into what I need to right now and not having a lot of leftover, it feels like. But I've talked about that before. That's a trap that I've gotten into before. But next week, tomorrow even, I should be better able to focus. I should be better able to focus right now. I'm obviously not focusing right now. What was I saying? You can find me on social media. I'll do better about it. If social media is not really your thing, you can write to my P.O. box. I got several lovely Christmas cards and a book that I'm going to start reading after I finish this one from you guys, which I love. And I've got several other books from you guys in the past that you found helpful, which I also love to see. I love to be able to read those and see what other people find helpful, maybe try some of it for myself. And now that I'm at a position where I'm working much less and being able to leave my work at work when I go home, I'm actually starting to read again for the first time in a long time, like I want to. So, looking forward to that. I'm getting off track again. What else was I going to say? If you guys are interested in trying out BetterHelp, which is the mobile counseling service I use, there is a link in the description box down below for you to give that a try if you want. And I think that's about it. Okay, one last thing before I sign off, because I'm giving you an office tour and I didn't show you one of the coolest things about my office. That is the view. I am very high up in my office, if you can't tell, and you can see just about forever. This is the university where I work. Obviously things are a little bit snowy and icy out there today. Well, that is our football field, so if I ever wanted to watch a game, I could. Those things over there, I think, are 12 floors tall, so this is pretty high, and you can sort of see out in the distance forever. And it's really cool because I'm high enough up that when it's really like stormy or rainy, the clouds are like right there. It's kind of weird, actually. So anyway, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. I hope wherever you guys are, you are safe and happy and healthy. Remember to just keep trying the best you can and stick with it if it's not like working right away, but also, I guess, don't be afraid to try something new if that might be what you need to get over the plateau that you're on. Anyway, I will see you guys on Friday.